PRP stands for platelet-rich plasma, and it comes out of your blood. You process it, and then you get the rich plasma layer where you inject it into the face, into the hair, into different tissues, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, to help heal the tissue. Now, most people think, hey, I got PRP, it didn't work or whatnot. So let me break it down to you very shortly how there are different levels of PRP. In my opinion, there are 3 levels of PRP. I like to describe them akin to different types of cars. So the first level is for your hair and for your face. It is a single spin kit, meaning when you take the blood out, you put it in a centrifuge and you spin it once. These are on the weaker end, and they are, I like to call them Toyota Corolla. So they're relatively weak, and they do the job for hair and for face. Now, those should not really be used for the rest of the body. The other 2 types of kits or brands that process the PRP are going to be double spin, meaning you take it out, you spin it, and then it's going to spin it again to further concentrate the blood. Now, the difference between these 2 classes is a combination of potency and of volume. So the potency, when you take out platelets from the body, most people have between 200,000 per ml to 250,000, somewhere around there. Now, when you process PRP, it really should be over 1 million platelets per ml. So that would be about a 4 to 5x ratio. Now, a lot of the decent brands will be 5 to 7x. So that would be about 1 million to, say, 1.5 million platelets per ml. And these are a double spin, and they will give you about 5 cc's of potent PRP at about 1 to 1.5 million platelets per ml. These are what I call the Mercedes. They're potent, they do a good job, but they're just not a lot of volume. Now, oftentimes you need 10, 15, 20, sometimes 50 cc's to make progress in a certain tissue, so you can see how many times you potentially would need to do this. Now, the last and third most potent, there's only 2 brands. These are really potent. They're also double spin, but their platelet count is going to be more like 1.7 to 1.9 million, so 7 to really 9x baseline platelet count. And they give you a lot of volume. So they can give you anywhere between 12 and 24 cc's of really potent PRP, depending on how much blood you're drawing out of the patient. Now, this is what I call the Ferrari, because it's really potent, it does a great job, and if you're doing a technique like I do, which is called a prolotherapy-based technique, where you actually inject each ligament and tendon in the specific area, and you need more than 0.5 cc or 1 cc to really make progress, you can see how much volume you're going to need in order to really affect the tissue. So to give you an idea, all PRP is not created equal. If you're getting a Toyota Corolla kit and expecting it to be a Ferrari, you're going to be really disappointed. If people don't know much about PRP, they're probably getting a Mercedes kit. Now, the difference, it can vary in price, but it all can vary in volume, and it really depends on the severity of injury. If you have a mild injury, PRP is great. You might not be a big fan of life for a couple days because PRP is quite painful, but it does a pretty good job. You reevaluate at 4 to 6 weeks, and they do a good job. You're using your body to heal itself, in particular, this time blood. But in general, if you're trying to treat a moderate to severe issue, bad arthritis, labral tear in the shoulder, meniscal tear in the knee, you usually need more of a potent punch than PRP can handle. And that's where the stem cell lines come in. So, realistically, you have to understand not only that all PRP is not created equal, but you also have to understand the benefits and the potency and how to use it. So there's different levels to it. Hopefully this gives you an initial breakdown of how PRP can be used, and how there's different levels to it, and that not all PRP is created equal.